go against that and say, look, I'm gonna work for my goal, and I'm gonna do what I need to do to get it, then we don't have anybody else to blame other than ourselves. But once we start looking for something else to blame, we're gonna find a reason. I mean, we always find an excuse.
Welcome back to the Tat Nation podcast. My name is Connor Phelan. I'm the marketing director here at the Top Agent team, joined today by Kyle Nash, director of onboarding. And we have a few things we want to let you guys know. But first, we want to start with last week's giveaway. We're giving away a $50 gift card today to the Union Tavern on Sprague. And we're going to go ahead and do that right now. I'm just going to pull up my screen and use this random comment generator to go ahead and generate the winner. So I took the link from the video on the screen here and just put it in here. I'm gonna hit get comments. There was 32 people that entered. And all I do is click this button down here and it's gonna generate a name. And this will be the winner of our $50 gift card. Brent Johnson. Brent Johnson, you won the $50 gift card. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Brent.
Shoot us a message or email us and we'll get you that. You can come pick it up at the office, or we'd be happy to possibly meet you somewhere. With that being said, we do have another giveaway for next week. We went and checked out a place called
the Crimson Hearth. So it's over there on Sprague out in the valley. So yeah, we'll be putting some pictures up of the place. So we're doing small business spotlights. We'll be doing that a couple times a month, and we're going to be doing giveaways to those restaurants. So we'll have a $50 gift card for that for next week. Same deal. We'll do the random comment generator, and we'll get you something, some $50 there. So yeah, I mean, Crimson Hearth, when we were there, I mean, the spot was really cool. There's a lot of like different spaces to eat in that place. I mean, there was an upstairs, there was two separate, big kind of dining lounges. So that was pretty nice. What did you get when you got there, or when we were there, Connor?
I ate breakfast that morning. I didn't know we were going, so I ate one of their cinnamon rolls. They were $3.
Oh yeah.
I was like, I'll take that all day long, and it was really good.
Yeah, that's right. I remember I got chicken fried steak, eggs, and then what else did I? Oh, I had a cinnamon roll too. I felt pretty hungry that morning. Well, I got cream cheese on there, and they have their own homemade jam, and I put the homemade jam on the cream cheese. Yeah. And oh man, that was yeah. Those cinnamon rolls are awesome. I know that they have drive-through as well. I believe it's drive-through coffee. I believe that. So yeah, it was an awesome place. I'm excited to go back there for a couple other meals. I believe it's just breakfast and lunch. I don't think they do dinners there. So. But we'll correct that if that's not the case. So
yeah, and locally owned, really nice owners. We met them, great employees, very friendly, and go check that out. It's up in near the Spokane Valley on Sprague, right?
Yep. Sprague. You take 291 exit, and you can just hit on Sprague, and you'll get there. So
yep, $50 gift card. All you got to do is drop a comment, and we're gonna give that one away next week. So. That being said, Kyle, you got the numbers for last week, what happened in the Spokane market?
Yeah, I do. So it's kind of a pretty big change for pendings and closeds. So our difference actually, and I think a lot of this has to do with school starting back up last week. Obviously, we had Labor Day. But yeah, so this week we had 2,109 active listings as of right now. And with that just means there's about a net of 2 different from last week. So not a huge change there, but really where the big change was in pending and closed. So pending deals last week, it accounted for about 18% of the market. This week it accounts for 17% of the active listings on the market. So that was a drop of about 24 listings of a net. And then for close, we actually dropped about 76, so a lot less closings last week. And so again, not a lot of people, just in my opinion, probably not a lot of people want to close the week before school starts back up. So it's kind of, they probably already closed a couple weeks before that so that they can get into the house, get it all prepped and ready to go. Moving when school starts is a pain in the butt. So so that's what I got the numbers. And again, we'll put those up on the screen for you, and you can kind of follow along with that. So. With that, I'd also like to announce we've got 3 new agents that have started as of today. Jared Davies, Ruben Avalos, and Steven Fraser. So yeah, we're excited. We're happy to have them on the team and getting them trained up. So yeah, we're excited to have them, and we'll get some headshots up there for you. So you guys
right on. Welcome. Sweet. Well, I got this headline here from Realtor.com. and it says frenzied buyer demand and low inventory ignite double-digit growth in home prices. The national median listing price has climbed 10% to $350,000 in August as homes are selling at their fastest pace in 15 months. What do you think about that?
Wow. So they've gone up. They're selling faster. What was it? 18 months? That was what that was?
15 months. Fastest
15 months?
pace in 15 months.
Wow.
Which brings me to Redfin, and I just typed into Google, what's the average home price in Spokane? It's a 93 competitive score, which I'm guessing that's out of 100, so very competitive. It says most homes get multiple offers, often with waived contingencies. Homes sell for about 2% above list price and go pending in around 5 days. Hot homes can sell for 5% above list price and go pending in around 3 days. And that's right from Redfin, which is a pretty credible source.
Yeah. So basically, there's a lot of terms that we kind of threw in there. So if you're not familiar with the home buying purchase, waiving contingencies just means, as a buyer's agent, my job is to protect my client as much as I can by throwing in contingencies into their offer. However, we're seeing that a lot of people are just willing to waive those contingencies, meaning maybe they don't get a home inspection, or they, may waive their financing contingency altogether. I mean, that's, again, there's a lot of risks associated with a lot of that. So, if you're feeling like that's something that you need to do to get an offer accepted, I would suggest having that conversation with your agent first to get some recommendations from them, because there's ways around a lot of that to still maintain some of those contingencies to protect you. That we again, I train up here, and I kind of recommend to do certain things with those contingencies within the guidelines of them, but still have yourself protected. So there's a lot to it, and I know a lot of people are just kind of desperate to get into a house, and so it's tough to it's tough to get in there and feel like, okay, I've made 5 offers and I've lost out on every single house that I've tried to get, and what do I do? And if an agent's response is first to say, well, can you waive anything? Are you willing to waive your contingencies? I would say that's I'm not sure if that agent is going to be doing a great job, just in my opinion, because I think they're still to encourage somebody to waive their contingencies is kind of basically saying, here, you're going to take a higher risk and you may lose your earnest money, which generally is between 1% and 2% of the purchase price. It can be lower, it can be higher, depending on how motivated you are. So again, I think there's a lot of ways around it, especially with waiving contingencies. That's a big deal, because again, if I say I waive my contingency and then all of a sudden for some reason I couldn't get financing, then I'm out the earnest money, and that's my buyer's. Unfortunately, it's my buyer's fault for not being able to obtain that financing. Whether there's extenuating circumstances, that's fine. But again, if they didn't like something in the inspection and they did that and they waived the inspection, they don't even have that chance to do a home inspection, and that's kind of crazy. So, I would say there's ways around it, and there's ways to be competitive still. So, talk to one of us. We'll help you and coach you through that process. So
Hire the expert.
Hire the experts. Yeah.
Yeah, and it also says right on here, average over the last month for the sale price of a home is $303,000, up 16.6% over the last year, and $154 per square foot, which is up 21.3% over the last year. Is it going to stop, or is it going to keep roaring?
It's tough. I mean, as supply keeps getting lower and lower, like as we saw, the total active listings, it didn't hardly go up at all last week. So we're still in the same amount of demand and less deals closed. So, there's not as many new listings going on the market. Generally, seasonality does affect, real estate, and in our Spokane market, a lot of people say, and it's kind of what we teach here too, is like, the difference between summer and winter is you just put on a coat, right? So, a lot of the time we're not saying that we're not willing to go show people homes during the winter or anything like that. Obviously, again, other circumstances, if you can't get to the house because the road you're snowed in and you can't drive up there, obviously that affects that. But generally, once we get into the fall and the winter season, it does slow down a little bit. So with that, I think you'll see a season of slowing down, but I don't think you'll see home prices go lower or anything like that. I think it's just going to keep going up. We're going to keep having new construction and a bunch of stuff getting built, and a lot of people are using that new construction as a comp for their house too. So that's why you see that square footage price going up and by 26%. Right. So because the more expensive, actually that was something I just read was home prices. The reason, a big reason why a lot of them are going up is because lumber prices actually went quite a bit higher. I think it increased by 15 to 16% for lumber. So obviously when you're building a house with wood and lumber, the price is going to go up now. So home builders are now raising their prices.
And then that makes sense with all the inflation and stuff going on in the economy. The Fed keeps printing money and cost of goods goes up.
Yep. So, yeah, it's, again, I don't see it stopping anytime soon, but you never know. So, I mean, generally, along with elections and things like that, the market tends to kind of go one way or the other, about 6 months after whatever the results of the election are. So it just depends on what way it's going to go. But there's a lot of other articles that we can kind of point to when stuff like that does happen. So, yeah.
Yeah, another interesting point out of this article here from Realtor.com. Inventory continues to decline nationwide with the number of homes for sale down 36% year over year, which would tie right into what's going on in Spokane's market. That's pretty wild.
Supply and demand. It's just like, I know I'm not supposed to say, price gouging, not supposed to say that word or those words because of webcams and all that kind of stuff, especially with all the stuff that's going on right now. There's a lot of, teaching from home now or all the online learning, kids are needing to get webcams and all that kind of stuff. And, I went to the store the other week and I can't even find one in there. You have to order it. And even when I tried to order one, it still says it's backed up 2 weeks and it's a used one.
Totally.
I'm like, that's crazy. Yeah. And I know I'm paying way more now. And it's not like an astronomical amount, but it's more because you can actually see what the prices are for it. So.
Right. Yeah, I went to Walmart. I went to 3 Walmarts, all sold out of Xbox controllers. I went to GameStop, gone. It's all Amazon now, I guess. I don't understand how all 3 stores could be out of something.
But Amazon has it.
Of course they do.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they have backlogs of it.
Yeah. And I guess we're lucky here because I know that we have our Amazon fulfillment center over in Medical Lake, so it's nice to have that here. But still, if they don't have it there, they have to get it shipped from somewhere else. So, yeah. So.
That's all I got, Kyle.
Awesome.
You got anything you want to add in, or?
Yeah, just kind of talk a little bit about something we do as a team when we meet as a full team on Mondays, or I guess for this week it was Tuesday because of Labor Day. We like to go over a podcast, and I'll throw a link to what the podcast is in our podcast. But basically, it talked about 1,000 days of accountability and doing inventory of your last 1,000 days, and we talked about goals and how to reach them. And this, in my opinion, this is applicable to anybody in their life. It doesn't matter if you're in sales or whatever. It's just basically the big thing that they talked about was you didn't hit your goals because you didn't execute on every day for 1,000 days. You didn't hit that goal, and even if you executed 50% or whatever every single day towards whatever goal, you'd at least be closer to that goal. But if you didn't even do that, then you're not getting there. And a lot of the time we find a way to give us, we look for an excuse, we're going to find one for the reason we didn't do things, right? So it's just kind of a nice wake up call because in a society we live in right now that it kind of it's what's the word I'm looking for?
Entitlement.
Yeah, entitlement. I mean, there's entitlement, but also the, when people win participation trophies and all that kind of stuff. I mean, we live in that kind of culture right now, which, I think if you kind of go against that and say, look, I'm gonna work for my goal and I'm gonna do what I need to do to get it, then we don't have anybody else to blame other than ourselves. But once we start looking for something else to blame, we're gonna find a reason. I mean, we always find an excuse. So that's something that's just kind of cool to go over that, even regardless of where you're at, in your life and whatever your goals are with whatever you want. 1,000 days is 2.3 or 2.75 years, so 2 years and 3/4 of a year. So, it's kind of nice to kind of put it down on paper as well, and go through that process, because I think that's once you stop and once you don't have a goal that you're working for, it's kind of hard to keep going on that. So,
Yeah, a quote I have kind of relates to that is, just get 1% better every day. Whatever you got to do, get 1% better.
Yep.
And just do that and make it compound and see what it turns into.
Yep. A couple books on that. In the compound.
Oh, yeah.
Compound effect. Yeah.
Yep.
So there's a lot of stuff out there, and again, I think that's the biggest thing I found is, if you go and look for an excuse for why you didn't do something, you're gonna find that excuse. But if you just kind of stop doing that, then we won't keep living in this culture of, I'm so what's the word I'm looking for?
I already gave you one, dude.
I already gave you one. What's the word I'm looking for? I'm so oppressed or whatever, by my my boss or something like that. I mean, once you start
taking accountability
and it's again, some of the things, if they don't happen, it's your fault, but you also don't have to be so negative about it. Like, oh, it's my fault that these things didn't happen.
Right.
Yeah, that's okay. If you keep focusing on that, then what are you going to do to make it happen? And then focus on that, and then you're going to feel a lot better when it's actually done.
Yeah.
And then again, don't get so down on yourself if you fail on something. I mean, that's something that, even if you try to get 1% better every day, and there was one day that you didn't get 1% better, but the next day you got better, and you still got another percent that day, at least, at a certain point, it's going to start canceling out the days that you didn't do something, and then you're going to get in the habit of executing daily.
And then just not beating yourself up. For example, I'll use going to the gym as an example. Yep. It takes time to build up that stamina and just kind of make it a part of who you are. It's like, if you could start just by going to the gym one day a week, and then work into 2, and then work into 3, and then pretty soon it's just going to be so easy for you. You'll be at 5 days a week, and if you miss a day, don't get down about it and just quit. Just start over again tomorrow. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yep. Make it the goal that you're going to go the next day, and you're going to say, okay, yep, I missed that day, but you know what, I may work out a little bit harder the next day. I started doing that too, and I was like, I find excuses for not going to the gym. Like last week, I couldn't go. There were just other circumstances that I had to do something else, and again, I gave myself an excuse. I probably could have found another way to do it, but at the same time, it's like, if I stop going for a long time, then I just won't have that habit anymore. And also, if I work really hard, or if I wear myself out so that I'm sick of the gym, and I go, I sign up and then I'm going 10, or 5 days a week or every day, and then I get sick of it because you didn't build that habit. You didn't actually start from, okay, hey, I went 1 day, awesome, I can do this. I went 3 days, awesome, I can do that. Now I go 5 days, and it's a lot easier to do that. So. Yeah, so that's all I got for that. So yeah, Brent Johnson, we got that gift card for you. We'll reach out to you, and then we're gonna go get some cheeseburgers right now. Isn't that right, Connor?
That's right. Over to the Union. Congratulations! And if you want to win a $50 gift card to the Crimson Hearth.
Crimson Hearth. Yep.
Crimson Hearth.
Yep.
Go ahead and drop a comment, and we'll give that out on next week's podcast.
Perfect.
Thanks for watching.